You know the kind of guy who does nothing but bad things and then wonders why his life sucks? Well, that was me. Every time something good happened to me, something bad was always waiting around the corner. Karma. That's when
Do you remember the kind of television that felt more like a second chance than just a show back in 2005? A small NBC sitcom about a mustached man and a handwritten list changed the way millions thought about karma. My Name is Earl wasn't flashy or loud, it was human. It turned failure, regret, and redemption into something funny, heartfelt, and strangely comforting. For 4 seasons, viewers followed Earl Hickey's bumpy road toward becoming a better person, one apology at a time. And even after its abrupt ending, the series refused to fade away. Beneath the laughter lay hidden stories, production secrets, real-life coincidences, and small miracles that revealed just how special this show truly was. Today, we revisit those memories through 12 surprising facts that made My Name is Earl one of the most unforgettable comedies of its era. Fact number 12. One actor played 3 siblings. It all began with a small-town dream and a television experiment that no one expected to work. When NBC first aired My Name is Earl in 2005, it wasn't just another sitcom, it was a quirky moral journey about a man trying to make things right, one mistake at a time. But beneath the show's simple premise was a level of creativity that pushed the limits of early 2000s television. One of the cleverest examples came from an unexpected casting decision. Few fans realized that actor Billy Gardell, years before, becoming famous for Mike and Molly, had secretly played not 1, but 3 different characters on My Name is Earl. He embodied 3 siblings, Billy Hoyne, Officer Jeff Hoyne, and their sister, each with distinct personalities, voices, and quirks. It was a small detail easily missed by casual viewers, but it revealed the ingenuity of the show's creators. Back then, tight budgets didn't stop creativity. Instead, they fueled it. Through wardrobe shifts, mannerisms, and tone changes, Gardell managed to become 3 separate people living within the same fictional town of Camden County. It was an era when television didn't rely on visual effects or star power, but on pure inventiveness. Audiences didn't know it, but they were witnessing a one-man acting experiment that symbolized everything. My Name is Earl stood for transformation, redemption, and finding humor in the unexpected. Even today, rewatching those scenes feels like uncovering a secret Easter egg left by the writers for fans who pay attention. It's a reminder that the show's magic lived not in expensive sets or perfect continuity, but in its heart, a heart built on the idea that everyone, even a small-town nobody, could be more than one version of themselves. Fact number 11. Earl's name was a handwriting accident. If My Name is Earl taught anything, it was that fate works in mysterious ways and that truth started before the cameras ever rolled. Earl Hickey's very name was born from a real-life mistake. According to the show's creator, Greg Garcia, the character was never supposed to be Earl at all. On paper, he was meant to be Carl, named after his father. But a single stroke of bad handwriting changed everything. When the name was written on a fictional birth certificate, the letter C looked like an E. And just like that, Carl became Earl, a small error that defined the character's destiny. The story feels poetic in hindsight. Earl Hickey was a man constantly at the mercy of life's randomness, struggling to correct past mistakes. That a simple accident could decide his identity mirrored the show's entire philosophy that every choice, big or small, creates ripples we can never predict. It was irony at its finest. The man obsessed with karma was himself a product of chance. In an age of carefully manufactured television, this little origin anecdote feels almost spiritual. It reflected the show's soul, imperfect handwriting, giving birth to imperfect humanity. The creative team might never have guessed it, but they'd written a real-world version of their own plot twist, an ordinary name turning into a symbol for second chances. When these early creative accidents are seen together, Gardell's triple role and Earl's accidental identity, they form the DNA of My Name is Earl, a series built not on perfection, but on the beauty of imperfection. It's no wonder the show still feels timeless. Every character, every mishap, and every moment whispered the same quiet truth. Sometimes life's biggest transformations begin with a mistake. Fact number 10. The brothers had already shared a past on screen long before Jason Lee and Ethan Suplee became the Hickey brothers, cleaning up their karmic messes in Camden County. Their chemistry had already been forged a decade earlier in Kevin Smith's 1995 cult film Mallrats. In that chaotic world of comic book fans and mall security guards, Jason Lee played the wisecracking slacker Brody Bruce, while Suplee appeared as William Black, the hapless man who couldn't quite spot the magic eye image. When Greg Garcia began casting My Name is Earl, he wanted relationships that felt genuine, not forced. He saw in Lee and Suplee something rare, two actors whose history already carried a lived-in warmth. That shared past translated effortlessly into the bond between Earl and Randy Hickey. Their brotherly bickering never felt scripted. It echoed the messy affection of real siblings. In an era when television comedies relied on punchlines, Earl offered something deeper: chemistry built on shared history. Lee's journey from professional skateboarder to actor gave his performance a rough-edged sincerity. Suplee's transformation from comic sidekick to soulful brother added emotional gravity. Together, they redefined what a sitcom duo could be. This creative choice captured the show's larger message: people evolve, and sometimes your past, even the strange parts, prepares you for redemption. Watching them side by side felt like witnessing two old friends finding purpose through fiction. In that sense, Earl didn't just reunite actors, it reunited versions of themselves, bridging years of change with humor and heart. Fact number 9. Amigos de Garcia and the hidden friends in the credits. The show's spirit of connection didn't stop at the main cast. Every week after the laughter faded and the credits rolled, an unnoticed secret scrolled across the screen, a tribute few fans realized they were seeing. In the final frames of each episode appeared a title card, Amigos de Garcia. Beneath it, a new face week after week. Those faces weren't random extras or stock images. They were Greg Garcia's real friends. 6 of them immortalized one episode at a time. It was his quiet way of saying thank you, a gesture of loyalty and warmth hidden in plain sight. Most of his friends didn't even know they were featured until they accidentally spotted themselves on television. It was the kind of small human detail that defined My Name is Earl: personal, generous, sincere. While other showrunners ended episodes with sterile production logos, Garcia ended his with a reminder that television at its best is made by people for people. Each Amigos de Garcia card felt like a karmic echo of the show's message: every good deed, no matter how small, deserves to be remembered. In a modern world obsessed with algorithms and analytics, that quiet celebration of friendship feels revolutionary. It wasn't about ratings or fame, it was about gratitude. And just like Earl's list, it reminded viewers that goodness multiplies when shared. Through actors with shared histories and real friends behind the credits, My Name is Earl became more than a comedy. It became a living scrapbook of connection and redemption. Fact number 8. When Saturday Night Live jokes became family ties, some of My Name is Earl's most brilliant moments weren't even in the script. They were hidden in the casting. In one unforgettable pairing television history folded in on itself when Burt Reynolds and Norm Macdonald appeared as father and son, Big Chubby and Little Chubby. For casual viewers, it was just clever celebrity casting. But for anyone who remembered the golden years of Saturday Night Live, it was a layered inside joke that turned meta-humor into art. Years earlier, McDonald had built his reputation impersonating Reynolds in SNL's famous Celebrity Jeopardy sketches, mocking his larger-than-life swagger with ruthless precision. So when Earl placed the two men together as family, it became a full-circle moment that blurred the line between parody and reality. The irony was perfect, the man once ridiculed on live television, now sharing the screen proudly with his comedic doppelganger. What could have been a simple gag became a statement about humility, humor, and generational respect. Reynolds, then a Hollywood legend, embraced the joke. McDonald, the once irreverent mimic, played it straight, almost reverent. Their scenes together carried that rare warmth found only when performers share a mutual understanding that laughter, even at one's expense, is a form of love. Moments like these made My Name Is Earl feel alive, filled with cultural echoes that connected audiences across decades. The show didn't just build characters, it built bridges between eras of comedy, honoring the laughter that came before. Fact number 7. Camden County, born from a father's love beneath my name. Is Earl's rough-edged humor lay a deeply personal world, one quietly shaped by the man who created it. Greg Garcia, known for his heartfelt approach to comedy, named the fictional Camden County after his own son Camden. What began as a private gesture of affection became one of television's most charming tributes. Each "Welcome to Camden County" sign that appeared on screen was more than a prop, it was a symbol of fatherhood, of a creator embedding love into every frame of his work. The fictional town reflected the values Garcia wanted his son to grow up with: forgiveness, redemption, and the belief that everyone deserves another chance. In Earl's Camden, even the most broken characters were treated with empathy. It was a community that reflected the messy but beautiful humanity of small-town America. Every diner, trailer park, and convenience store carried that sentimental glow, imperfect but kind. In an age when sitcoms leaned on sarcasm, Garcia's approach felt revolutionary. His storytelling suggested that comedy could be both funny and compassionate, that laughter could coexist with heart. Looking back, Camden County feels almost like a time capsule from an era before cynicism dominated screens, a place built by a father named for a son, and remembered by millions as a world where karma always finds its way home. From SNL icons to family tributes, My Name Is Earl balanced absurd humor with quiet sincerity, reminding viewers that the best stories, like the best families, are stitched together with love and laughter. Fact number 6. Randy's real father delivered the mail. Every town has its secrets, and in Camden County, one of the sweetest was hidden in plain sight. Among the show's long list of quirky characters was Willie, the one-eyed mailman, a man with a rough grin and an easy heart. What most viewers never realized was that Willie was played by Bill Suplee, the real-life father of Ethan Suplee, who portrayed Randy Hickey. This small detail perfectly captured My Name Is Earl's spirit family, woven seamlessly into fiction. Greg Garcia's casting choice wasn't an act of nepotism, but a stroke of authenticity. The father-son connection added genuine warmth to every scene they shared, even when the script didn't call attention to it. It gave Camden County a texture few comedies achieved, the feeling that everyone really did know everyone. Bill Suplee brought the same unpolished sincerity that made the show feel real. He wasn't just a background character. He embodied the quiet dignity of the working class, the kind of person who kept the rhythm of small-town life steady. In hindsight, this was more than casting. It was storytelling through legacy. The moment audiences learned that Randy's real father was part of the same fictional world, the show's core message became even clearer: redemption and kindness begin with family. Fact number 5. A real accident became TV legend. The authenticity didn't end there. One of My Name Is Earl's most talked about episodes, its parody of the police reality show, Cops, became famous not just for its clever imitation, but for an unscripted mishap that stayed in the final cut. During filming, an actor playing a police officer accidentally slammed his own face with a car door. Instead of stopping the scene, he kept performing never-breaking character. The rawness of that moment fit perfectly within the show's world. Chaotic, imperfect, but sincere. Rather than reshooting, the production team kept the footage. It became a kind of artistic statement. Even mistakes have purpose. The scene's realism resonated because it wasn't planned. It happened by accident, just like Earl's journey itself. That decision to honor imperfection summed up the show's heart. In a story about karma, every stumble mattered. Whether it was a father cast as a mailman or an accidental bruise turned into comedy, My Name Is Earl thrived on authenticity. It celebrated human error not as failure, but as proof of life. Through these behind-the-scenes choices, the series built a legacy that still feels intimate. The laughter wasn't only scripted, it was lived. Every frame reminded viewers that imperfection handled with kindness can turn into something timeless. Fact number 4. Darnell's secret identity and the art of hidden depth. At first glance, Darnell Turner was just another easygoing resident of Camden County, a quiet man running the crab shack, flipping shrimp, and dispensing calm advice while chaos unfolded around him. But in true My Name Is Earl fashion, even the most unassuming character held a secret. Midway through the series, audiences discovered that Darnell wasn't Darnell at all. He was Harry Monroe, a former CIA operative and trained assassin living under witness protection. The revelation was so absurd, it almost defied belief, yet it made perfect sense. Darnell's serenity, his strange knowledge of everything from electronics to languages, his ability to stay calm while others panicked, all of it suddenly aligned. The writers had transformed a background character into one of the most complex figures on network television. Beneath his quiet demeanor lay an entire past of espionage and danger. The twist symbolized what made My Name Is Earl extraordinary. Even the simplest lives can hide remarkable stories. Darnell's transformation invited viewers to look deeper to see that goodness and wisdom often come from unexpected places. In a broader sense, it echoed the show's karmic message: people can change, and sometimes redemption means finding peace after chaos. Even now, rewatching those episodes feels like uncovering a spiritual metaphor. Darnell, the peaceful crab cook, was once an instrument of destruction. Yet in Camden County, he found purpose in small acts of kindness. It was redemption written not in grand gestures, but in quiet humanity. Fact number 3. The list was never meant to end. If Darnell's secret identity represented transformation, Earl's list symbolized evolution, not just his own, but that of an entire community. Many viewers assumed the show's goal was for Earl Hickey to finish his handwritten list of wrongs. But creator Greg Garcia had a different vision. The list was never supposed to be completed. In Garcia's philosophy, Earl's journey was only the spark, a catalyst for others to follow. Each person he helped was meant to inspire another, creating a chain reaction of good deeds that would factually make the list unnecessary. The story was never about one man fixing his past, but about an entire town learning to care for one another. It's a concept that feels even more profound today. In an age of quick apologies and online outrage, My Name Is Earl quietly argued for something deeper, lasting change through compassion. Garcia's unfulfilled plan would have turned Camden County into a self-sustaining ecosystem of kindness, a place where karma wasn't punishment, but guidance. That vision was revolutionary for network comedy. Beneath its laughter, the show was painting a moral portrait of humanity, imperfect, funny, and endlessly hopeful. Together, Darnell's transformation and Earl's unfinished mission formed the spiritual backbone of the series. The idea that goodness is never complete only continued. Fact number 2. The cliffhanger that broke television hearts. For 4 seasons, audiences followed Earl Hickey as he crossed names off his list and slowly built a life defined by redemption. Then, without warning, NBC pulled the plug. The final episode aired in May 2009 and ended with one of the most gut-wrenching cliffhangers in sitcom history. Just when viewers thought they'd seen Earl make peace with his past, the story dropped a bombshell. Earl Jr., the child everyone assumed was his son, might not be his after all. The revelation was raw, emotional, and full of moral weight. It promised to redefine everything the audience believed about family and forgiveness. But then came silence. The series was abruptly canceled before the truth could unfold. No resolution, no final lesson, no closure. For fans who had invested years in Earl's journey, the cancellation felt almost karmic in itself, as if fate had played another trick on a man who spent his life correcting them. Greg Garcia later revealed that his plan was for Earl's mission to ripple outward, for kindness to become contagious across Camden County. It would have been a perfect ending, one that fulfilled the show's central theme, that goodness spreads quietly but powerfully. Even today, more than a decade later, viewers still discuss what could have been. The cliffhanger stands as a reminder that not all stories about redemption get to finish. Sometimes the journey is the message itself. Fact number 1. Catalina's secret messages to Spanish-speaking fans. Through every episode, Catalina, played by Nadine Velasquez, brought fire, beauty, and mystery to Camden County. Her angry Spanish outbursts became a running joke, often hurled at Earl or Joy in moments of chaos. English-speaking viewers laughed, assuming her rants were insults. Yet hidden beneath the fury was one of the show's most beautiful secrets. Velasquez later revealed that many of Catalina's angry speeches weren't insults at all. They were heartfelt thank yous to Spanish-speaking fans for supporting the show. Delivered with convincing emotion, her words carried love disguised as rage, a secret message of gratitude that only bilingual viewers could truly understand. It was one of the purest examples of My Name Is Earl's karmic humor, something that looked negative on the surface but was in truth an act of kindness. This revelation redefined Catalina's character and reflected the series' inclusive spirit, at a time when few comedies represented Latino audiences authentically. My Name Is Earl gave them a voice, even a hidden one. Behind the laughter, it was quietly revolutionary. Seen together, these final 2 facts, the show's abrupt end and Catalina's secret, feel like poetic opposites. One, a reminder of what was lost, the other proof of what still endures. The series may have stopped, but its spirit of humor, humanity, and hidden goodness continues to echo through every fan who still believes in karma and second chances. Looking back at My Name Is Earl, it's easy to see why the series still resonates so deeply. Beneath its slapstick chaos and small-town absurdities lay one of television's most sincere moral journeys. Every fact, every behind-the-scenes story, from Billy Gardell's triple performance to Catalina's secret Spanish tributes, painted a fuller picture of a show that understood the human heart. It wasn't just about karma, it was about connection. For all its humor, Earl was never cynical. It believed that even flawed people could become better, that every mistake could lead to growth, and that kindness, no matter how small, always returns in unexpected ways. Perhaps that's why its unfinished ending still hurts, because the world it built, messy, forgiving, real, felt like a place worth returning to. In the years since television has changed, yet fans still revisit Camden County, finding comfort in Earl's voice, Randy's innocence, Joy's chaos, and Darnell's quiet wisdom. Maybe that's the truest legacy of all, a show that taught redemption doesn't need a finale to matter. Of the 12 facts above, which one surprised you the most? Was it the secret, casting the unfinished ending, or the kindness hidden in Catalina's words? Thank you for watching and keeping this story alive. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's good karma. See you in the next video. This is TV Time Capsule.